Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. And please let me know that you are able to hear my voice. And because I seem to have been able to reconnect the Scarlett 212, I think that's what it was. And if I can just do this. Aha. There we go. We're in business. So give me a holler as soon as you said that you can't hear my voice, because last time it went offline, the microphone, then I reconnected it and it was okay. Then it disconnected a few minutes after and I didn't notice. And I had to repeat whatever I was saying. So I'm going to be looking at the microphone today just to see the light is on. But if you guys noticed it and I'm still rambling on, send me a message. So who's here? Lovely Lily is here. Says, good morning, dear Mara. Good morning, dear. Says, what a pleasure, pleasant surprise. Thank you. And good of you to be here. Is the timing and day change? No, I just felt like I was going to go for a walk by the ocean. And but I just had dinner. So I thought it's not a good idea. I might as well have my tea with you guys and then spend 1 hour with you, because just about 11 o'clock I should shut it down so my neighbor will not be inconvenienced. So therefore we have 1 hour and 5 minutes that I try to be with you guys, and hopefully it'll be of some use. Lovely Lily is 20, female, Pakistan. Juanpa, male, 25, Costa Rica. Says, Pura vida, Mehran. Pura vida, Juanpa. Good to see you, dear. And says, good to see you at this time. And the same here. So do you guys prefer this time, actually? It's about 10 o'clock, Vancouver time. And then we have Lukacs Kowalski. Sounds like a name from Poland. Let's see. Says, hello, Mehran. Dejan dobre. Dejan. I didn't know that. Dobre dien, or dien maybe, huh? Dien dobre? Greeting from Poland. Greeting as well to you. Dobre dien. Is it dien? I'm confused. And Marlena says, hello, Mehran. Just checking the light. And this is almost midnight in Mexico. I won't stay long, but I'm glad I can say hi. Yeah, Marlena, don't worry. You go sleep whenever you have to, Mariana, because I just decided to be with you guys for an hour, and then it'll be a short one. We'll still have our Saturday 1 p.m. and Saturday 9 p.m. And seems like things have slowed down again here, so I may do a little bit more than just once a week. Who knows? I may just surprise you guys like this every once in a while. Otherwise, we try to keep our Saturday 1 p.m. and 9 p.m. Vancouver time still intact. And Chester from my homeland, male 27, Hawaii, says, aloha Mehran, aloha Chester, mahalo. Says, hope you enjoyed your sandwich after your last live. Yeah, I did. I sure did. I sure did. Yes, I did. I was really hungry. Says, I'm very glad you decided to do another live stream today. Yeah, today will be a short one, just because we get to 11 o'clock and then I don't want to be cause of disturbance to my neighbor. At the same time, I don't want anybody to knock on the wall. So it works both ways. I'm a very good neighbor, and but you know, the walls are thin, I guess, and so regardless of how quiet or how um, uh, um, considerate we are, it's still the voice can carry to the other side, I guess. Especially, I think that my this corner of my apartment is adjacent to, I think, her bedroom, so that is why. She's an older lady, and when she wants to perhaps sleep at 11 o'clock, it will be too late if she can, you know, still hear sounds and voices and so on. And Carpe Diem says, hello, Meran, 42 Male Canada. Hello, Carpe Diem. Good to see you, dear, and thank you very much for being here. And he says, I can hear you just fine. Oh, great. Oh, he went off. Aha. You guys can't hear me, can you? Right? No sound? You can? You can hear me? The light is off. Can you guys still hear me? Really? Then how come the light is not on? That's funny. All right, then I continue with the same, I guess. But you guys make sure. All right, good. That's funny. The light is not on. Spooky. Because there's a light here, and if it's not on, that means it's just not on, but it is on. All right. So just don't forget to give me a holler. I mean, somehow get my attention. Maybe that's when you have to send a super chat, because I won't see small things, only big, because when it comes as a super chat, the whole screen shows up big, so I can see that. That's what Luna did last time. I was going on for about, I don't know how many minutes, and nobody could hear me, but I didn't know the microphone has failed. Until she puts a 5-pound super chat, and it came on, boom, orange. Say, what is that? Oh, and she says the message was, we can't hear you. So maybe I should play that trick. Maybe channel gets some support. Huh? What do you think? So we have, Steven says, hi, Meran. Hello, Steven says, I still haven't listened to your email, but will when I get home. God damn it, you still haven't heard it because you haven't opened it up, right? But when you see it arrived, give me a signal, send me an email, say, I received it, I will listen to it when I do. Because then I wonder, has he gotten it? Has he not? Does he think that I didn't care? I wasn't, quick enough, or I didn't spend the time? So give me, as I mentioned in the email, I said, please let me know if you've received it. I think I did. If I didn't, well, you should assume it. So, no soup for you. So, and says, Juanpa says, Meran, are you watching Mandalorian? Oh, yes. I caught up last night. The first one was good. The second one was Third one was great. And fourth one was amazing. And that was just giving you the feeling of the whole Star Wars saga and so on. It's like the whole atmosphere, like the ship and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I'm right into it. Definitely. Steven says, I came to the beach to free myself from all my thoughts. I'm the only one here. I think because of the curfew. Is there a curfew? You better get on home. You don't want to get shot. I mean, curfew, where I come from, meant something. It meant like if you're still out by a certain time, you're going to get shot. I'll tell you some funny story. It's actually to my kind of, I don't know, like not boasting, but it was like a compliment to me at that age. Apparently, there was this girl that somehow, I had a party. I'd given a party, and it was the curfew time. It was the revolution time, and it was curfew after 12 o'clock or 10 was it? No, it was 1 o'clock. After 1 o'clock, the curfew would go into effect, and anybody being out in the street would be shot. It was a serious time, so this girl was invited also among many other people to my apartment, and so everybody adhered to their time, and they left by about like 10 or 11 o'clock, so they would have enough time to get to their destination without breaking the curfew. And and I'm seeing that this girl, this friend, doesn't leave. That she doesn't want to leave. And so she said, let's play chess. I said, okay, let's play chess. And then I said, eventually I got nervous. I said, because she's going to get stuck in the middle of the street. I mean, there's no other recourse. What is she going to do? Stay here? I mean, that's not in the cards. So she said, no, don't worry. I have some military card, and it's good even if it's after. I said, oh, are you sure? He said, yeah, no problem. I said, okay, fine, great. So it comes about 1 o'clock, about 1:30. I said, hey, listen, curfew, what about curfew? I mean, aren't you worried about to get? He says, oh, well, I can't go anyhow, it's curfew. But I said, you said you have a card. I said, no, it's joking. So she pulled that, and anyhow, we ended up playing chess all night. So now... So curfew, be careful. If it's a curfew, you might be legally liable. So go home. That's pretty much what you have to do, I guess. We have Steven says, my phone is 5%, so we'll listen when I get home, Aaron. Okay, sure. And so everybody, I guess, you can't hear my voice. And Agent 07, Stefan says, I can hear you. Okay, good. Hey, guys, what happened to the protocol? Just because now, we talk more than maybe 1 or 2 times a week, that doesn't mean I still remember. I still need that info, even if I remember. Please, just like... Stephen, and just like Carpe Diem, just like Juanpa, just like anybody who remembered to do it, just give me just like lovely Lily, just give me the, what is it, lowdown, is that what it was called? Give me the info. And so we have, Chester says, Mayron, I noticed when I am stressing out from other things rather than my intrusive thoughts, for example, lack of sleep and family problems, my intrusive thoughts start to overreact. Yeah, of course. Why does my brain do that? Everybody's brain does that. When you are, let's say, economic situation is not good, or your work is not good, or you got, I don't know, the supervisor got on your case, or somehow somebody stole your money, or your job is not good, you're unhappy at your job, or some stress, or some kind of a argument with your, I don't know, whoever, family member, friends, or things are not going good for you. They may lay you off in job, or maybe you have an exam or doesn't go, or I don't know, something you like you can't buy. Something is not going. These sort of stresses, or you're worried about, I don't know, some kind of a health issue, whatever it is. It's the food for the brain. Brain likes negative things, so it's like you're giving it excuse to focus on negative things. Because what happens? In Aikido, we say negative brings negative and positive brings positive. So you constantly think negative, that negative thought starts an energy based on negative energy, and negative energy goes and gets negative energy. Where does it get the negative energy? From negative connotations. Where? From negative thoughts, from negative images, from things that you don't like, things that you're worried about. So you start it with some kind of a trigger of a negative, stress, job, exam, money, whatever. It also goes and finds something else that is negative to you. Intrusive thoughts going to be at the top of the list. It says, aha, he's weak. I can now hit him with something that he used to not give a shit about it, not engage in conversation with me. It wouldn't bother him, or, he was resisting it. He was giving me shit about it, and he wouldn't, But now he's weak. I'm going to hit him and let him be busy with my choices of thoughts. Brain says. So that's everybody's brain. When it's stressed, it acts up. It's jumping up and down. What happens when something is stressed? It means there is some kind of a nudging, some kind of instability has been created. When that happens, that means things are not sitting. They're moving, and they're moving without any direction. They're hitting anything that they could, confront with. So the brain too, when it's not settled, when it's agitated, when it's stressed, it's not settling where it's supposed to settle. Where we've talked about in meditation, 1 point lower the abdomen. That's where the mind and body both, that's where the body's weight is concentrated, and you try to have your focus of thoughts and focus on the activity of the energy in that point. So you have both mind and body both focused and concentrated on the same point. You bring coordination, and on that way, mind finds security without being occupied, because usually mind finds and tries to find its security in occupation, in being busy, conjuring up things, creating resistance or energy or interaction and exchange and debating and argument with you, the brain, and the awareness, which is you. But this, when you teach it through meditation, it finds its security through coordination at that small 1 point, 10 centimeter or 20 centimeter below the navel, somewhere hypothetical point below the navel. So when it settles down there, it's not jumping around here and there. It doesn't bounce into any kind of a thought or whatsoever. It doesn't want to go and find something because it has already found its security. It's quieted down. But when you're stressed, something is unstable, it starts looking for some kind of a security through occupation. Then it's not even going to care about if it's one thing or two things. It brings all kind of shit, whatever it can, in order to get one of them working, to create some kind of a resistance, to create some kind of a debate, anger, emotion, and get busy through that and build on that. That's what happens that's why you get more intrusive thoughts, or if not anything, starts intrusive thoughts, brain becomes overactive when you are having some stress or some issues that is concerning you. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Steven says, I have the entire beach to myself, Manhattan Beach in LA. And now if the police bandwidth is hearing they're also watching YouTube, they're going to say, oh, this guy is on the beach and it's after curfew hours, we got to go arrest him. So go home. And Chinu11 says, hi, Meron. Hello, Chinu. And Chinu says, explain thinking versus worrying. It's self-explanatory, isn't it? Thinking is something that you initiate. Purposely, you go into your consciousness, pick up certain material, ingredients, topics, to figure out something, to calculate something, design something, produce something, learn something, write something, accomplish something. That's your part. That's something you are trying to accomplish using the apparatus of the brain to come to certain kind of a completion of that project, whatever it is, in order to advance your life and get some use out of it. That's thinking, your thinking. When you want to figure out, from the time that you are posed a question to the time that you're going to find that answer or that calculation or figuring it out, that's thinking. Look, somebody asks you, what's your name? You say, Chinu. He says, where are you from? Say, India. You don't have to think. That's not thinking. But when somebody asks you, how long does it take to go to Japan with the 2-engine airplane with this much weight and that much of a horsepower, and this is the mileage, the distance within here in Japan, then from the time that you hear this to the time that you do calculation, figuring it out to come up with the answer, that's thinking. Now, worrying is not something that you initiate. You don't purposely say, okay, let me worry about this. Something that happens when you compare what it was to what it is and what can be or will be or possible. That comparison of what it is, what can be, creates fear, which creates the worry, consequences. So in short, that's the answer for your question. And versus thinking, he says, I'm feeling very lonely because please suggest me how to overcome. Chinu, you just asked me one question, then you asked me in the same sentence a different question. Thinking and worrying. I have a video called, if you just go to my channel, which you are, but you go to the search engine of my channel and just put in the word in the search engine, put the word lonely. As soon as this loads up, there it is. So if you put lonely, and then you will have lonely. Did I spell it wrong? What the hell? Lonely. Okay, let's try alone. There we go. So if you just go in and put in alone, you'll have a bunch of videos. One of them would be I feel alone, right? All right, I'm going to put that in for you since I'm here. Don't forget to remind me if suddenly the sound goes off. So that's one for you. And then there is another one. It says how to never feel alone in the pandemic time or in general. Okay, that's good. I should watch that myself. So, so we go. There we go. That's the second one. Then we have alone the rest of your life. There's a bunch of them. Just go in there, push in the word alone. You'll get a bunch of videos and you can choose instead of me just writing it for you here, right? Okay. So let's see what else do I have here that catches my eyes. And I just read the title too. Do you think being alone after a breakup is a good thing? That's one question somebody gave me. Why do we get sad and feel alone at nights? That's another thing. I feel so unloved and alone. What should I do? What is alone time? I want my alone time. I feel my energy strong and clear only when I'm alone. And the other one says, you are not alone. You will be fine. And there's so many. Loneliness, being alone, generating new energy. How you ever lived alone for long and why? Oh, have you ever lived alone for long and why? Oh, I guess that was a question to me that I answered. All right, so there's so many videos. Like God knows, like 30 videos. Let's see. There are 18 videos on that topic, so go in and figure it out and enjoy. Hope that answers your question. And so what else do we have here? You're quite welcome, Chinu. And Atif says, hi, Miran. New York City, 38 male. A lot of what I'm seeing and reading makes me not believe in the institution of marriage, but would love to have a child. Not sure what to do. Well, do what everybody else does, whether intentionally or not. Get married, have your child, and divorce. That's just, So if you know this, then you wouldn't be shocked, or you wouldn't be, So at least you go in with training. That's the back of your mind. Okay, the road I'm going, that's the destination. That's where it's going to end up. Not going to be where I intend to go, but it's going to end up like this. So at least you have an idea how the cookie is going to crumble. You fall in love, she falls in love. You guys go nuts about each other, then you go have children, and then you do your best, and then suddenly one of you says, I feel like I want to go have a different. So, and that's normal. Es ist normal. I haven't smoked anything or anything. I don't smoke, so if I'm in a goofy mood, because that's what I am. Shame on you. I just poured you. What happened? So cold. But that's good anyhow. All right. What else do we have? We have, Steven says, I've realized where I went wrong in this relationship and how to get my power back. I set up a date with this girl for this Saturday. All right. Anyway, going to the beach like tonight, I think I will make this a routine. It's so nice here. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's lovely when you are at the beach, but just be careful. There are weird people around too, so be alert. Talk to you soon, Maron. Okay, dear. Have a good evening. Chester says, thanks, Maron, for your advice. By the way, I like your video. These intrusive thoughts and the quarantine situation are causing us endless cycle of ruminating on our thoughts. The what if. Yeah, I want to leave you guys with this. I not leave you right now, but at least I want to share with you guys something interesting, especially the ones who have OCD or dealing with HOCD or some kind of a OCD. Oh, did you know? A different girl. Yeah, good. Okay. Stephen, that's good. Tim is here. Says, hello, Meran. How are you? Thank you very much. Guten Tag. That must be morning there. Wie geht's heute? Geht's gut, I hope. Tim is funny. Powerful young man. This is Tim Germany, the Blade Runner 31. What an attitude. What an attitude. All right. So what I was saying is that the ones who have a question in their mind about HOCD or subsets of OCD, pedophile OCD, harm OCD, all kind of OCD that drives us nuts or drives, with one kind of or another, which, as you know, everybody on earth has intrusive thoughts. It's just that the ones who have OCD and their signaling system malfunctions, they get this OCD hanging around. And notice when I say hanging around, it's actually exactly as it is. It's a thought that has no basis, no existence, no truth or actuality to it, but hangs around. And you say, how could a thought be there if it's not true, if it's not inexistent, if it's not have any kind of a actuality, if it's not? Why? It's very simple. First of all, that's the fact, because scientifically proven. Because brain can think of things even though they don't exist, even though they don't exist in the nature. In other words, brain is a thought manufacturing plant, but its abilities to create thoughts of all kinds, nonsense or otherwise, because sometimes you use the apparatus of brain and use it to your advantage to do something, and sometimes, often, brain itself uses its own apparatus to make thoughts, which those thoughts are all irrelevant to you and meaningless to you. But you don't recognize that this is brain using its own abilities and apparatus to make thoughts. And then there are intrusive thoughts that it makes. And then there's this you that uses the brain to make some thoughts that is for your use. Two different systems, totally independent. But the interesting thing is that beside this, that when they say, how could something that doesn't have any actuality come to my mind? When it comes to my mind and ruminates and hangs in there, it must mean that it is representing me. Bullshit. First of all, because as I mentioned, it's scientifically proven, as I just mentioned, and many other researchers and psychotherapists and scientists have proven that it's nonsense. It's just irrelevant. Intrusive thoughts are all meaningless and irrelevant to you, but they're there because of the malfunction of the caudate nucleus and all the other things that we talked about. But you have a very first-hand experience that you can yourself attest to it, witness to it, all your life, that something that doesn't exist, you actually constantly hear it. How many of you have had stuck sound syndrome since childhood or adulthood? Once in a while it happens. Some jingle gets stuck in your head. I don't know, some kind of a jingle. Could be from a TV show, could be from some movie, could be from some seasonal jingles, could be just something that you used to, tap on the table, or you heard it somewhere. Something, somehow, that you heard maybe a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, or in music somewhere, in some movie, in some video, in some television program, some radio station, some music that was played a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, and it doesn't exist anymore. It's not being played, yet you notice it's not getting out of your head for hours, days. Sometimes you sleep and you say, I wake up tomorrow, it's gone. And you wake up tomorrow. Any kind of a music could be. So where is that sound coming? It was played a month ago or a year ago or never, or you heard it somewhere. It's not playing anymore. So what is it that you're hearing? No instrument, no musician, nobody's playing it around near or far. No television or radio or any kind of instrument is actually recorded, is playing it. So where is it that you're hearing it? But you're hearing it. You're actually singing that tune or hearing it being sung in your head. What is that? Stuck sound syndrome. What is it? Hallucination of sound, of rhythm, of music that actually makes you hear it note by note, even though it doesn't exist. The recording of it is not playing. The musicians, nobody's around to be playing it. You're not playing it, but you're hearing it. So what is that? That if that can happen, which you can attest to it, that happens, you're hearing not something that doesn't exist, but you're hearing it. That's hallucination in hearing. Same thing. These intrusive thoughts are hallucination of thoughts, suggestion, images that they don't exist. They're irrelevant to you. They've got nothing to do with you. You're no part of it. You've never asked for it. You're not interested in it whatsoever. But it's lingering. The same sequence, the same process as the stuck sound syndrome. Very similar, isn't it? It's just worse. So if you have any doubt about the meaningless and bogusness and bullshit and non-existence of these intrusive thoughts, and they're just ideas and suggestions and images that they actually, in actuality and reality, do not exist and does not represent you. And if you know this and separate what malfunction brain is involved in making these intrusive thoughts and what you are, and then you and brain are separate systems, then you say, holy shit, it's the brain that's got the problem. I am who I am, who I've always been, who I always will be, what I have always been and want to be. It's got nothing to do with me. And if you can separate that and understand that, then you're home free. Beginning of recovery. All right. Atif says the Mirage advice was hilarious, Mehran. Mirage? Oh, marriage advice. He says, out of curiosity, are you married? No, not anymore. But I have the best of relationship with my ex-wife. Cordial, loving, caring, and exceptional friendship, and we kept that whole connection of the family together as it was. We consult with each other if there is a matter that could be personally helping us, or we have certain issues that we could be find it or something that we could benefit from each other's point of views on that topic, or something that involves the family. We have a great relationship, and we kept that since a short time after the divorce. We just created that condition and kept it going, still going. It's the only way. Life is short, and you got to be cordial, caring, loving, respectful, helpful, supportive. That's how you can really make things work. And Tim says, "Hi, Mehran, are you ready for what?" And Tim says, "Ja, danke. Es geht's ganz gut." Oh, okay, good. Tim says, "Would love to hear your thoughts about grew up with lots of struggle, homes for bad behaving boys. Grew up with lots of struggle, homes for bad behavior. Oh, in homes for bad behaving boys, but that's just fine. I'm up to really grow up. Almost a little proud. I flipped my life around." Yeah, I am sure you did. You have that personality. You have that power. You're very calm and very kind and very conscientious, but you're very powerful when you want to put things together, get things done. I felt that about you since the very first time that you started participating in the channel, talking to me. I remember when you first bought the book, Me, My Psyche, and I. And I remember that you have a stepdad. Am I right? It's been a long time since we've talked about these things, but I think I remember it right. Am I mistaken, Tim? Or am I right? Tim says, from drugs and jail and all kinds of relationships and attachment issues to a really upgrowing man. Yep. Slowly but surely. I desire psychology and all that stuff. Now to my question. All right. Says, my dad left when I was still a baby. Two times long my life. He showed up, two times in my life. He showed up and wanted contact, but then he messed it up. Each time didn't show up. Many years, always again. Now he asked again. He said he understands now. He feels bad and hopes I contact him and give it another try. I agreed, but I'm really unsure and I have doubts. But maybe it's the missing part of myself perception. Maybe I could get a lot out of it, but maybe he disappears again. And when I think I couldn't keep calm and relaxed anymore, what can I do? I need a little bit more info, Tim. I need to know, right now you're what, 31? Yeah, you're 31. And so you haven't really seen him since you were 2-year-old, pretty much. Maybe a couple times you did. But one thing about you, without the other stuff that I would have liked to know about, like what he does, what does he do, what is he into, what kind of life does he have now? Does he have another wife, children? Is he alone? Where does he live? How does he live? Where does he get money? All of these are important to me in order to be able to give a proper advice. But one thing I can tell you, which is not my advice or completion or conclusion of my discussion on this topic, is that you are now used to living in uncertainty. I had a little Filipino accent here, I think. I said, you're used to uncertainty. You know how each nation has a very unique accent when they speak English. So I believe that you have become accustomed to what most people have problems and they don't understand. That's the beginning and trigger of many of the anxieties and depressions and so on and troubles in life. And also some kind of a roots of or triggers of intrusive thoughts that people don't have the training or don't have the understanding that we all are living in an uncertainty all the time. But when it comes to certain things, we want that certain thing, we want to be certain about it. And that is why the problems, mental problems, worries, anxieties, so on show up. But in your case, if you look, if you notice, you have been able to work out against all odds. The drug and the places for bad boys to live and all the challenges that you had and health challenges and everything else, and the father show up and then not show up, leaving you at two-year-old and then show up sometime and not show up and so on and so forth. You have now become a master of knowing that you can beat uncertainty and that uncertainty does not bother you. In other words, your life will not go upside down if something that you expect is not going to meet with your expectations. And while it hasn't met your expectations, you're not going to flip up and down because you're worried about uncertainty. Because you have been through uncertainties in your life, including your dad's situation. It was always uncertain. But you went through it, and you've seen it, and you know that it didn't kill you. It doesn't do anything to you at all. It's disappointing, but you have understood that disappointment is part of life. So you got that going for you, that uncertainty is not an issue to you in most cases, or at least you can manage it better than someone do who has always expect things to go his or her way, and uncertainty has never had a chance to be there for him to or her to grapple with. But having said that, I still cannot give you any advice because from one end, of course, it's your dad, and you will always want to say that I did try, and if you don't, you will always say, well, what if I would have? But now you have a certain lifestyle and you're settled in it, and you want to know what is he going to bring into your psyche. And while you're aware and wise about it and be able to see the movement of your psyche, much better than when you were much younger, but still it's a father that you want to impress him. And perhaps you will agree or go along with some things that is contrary to your best interest, but because you put your relationship with your father ahead of what's best interest, because you're compassionate and a good person, and you want to connect with your father. But is your father also coming in with the same kind of an intention? Are you both starting the chess game fresh? Are you playing for fun, or are you there for some kind of a agenda, a winning agenda? I know you don't have, other than wanting to be with your dad, find out, learn about him. Who is he? Because for knowing a little bit about him, it kind of gives you a certain kind of a wholeness, at least, in a way. Which that wholeness, the ones we have it, will lose that wholeness when our father dies or our mother passes on, or something that we are not wishing for at all happens. Huh? So we all go through that not being whole. We never come in whole, we never leave whole. But we don't necessarily like these scenarios that could end up with more than what we bargained for. We just wanted to know. You just wanted to know your dad. But you don't want to end up being confused in such a way of giving away what is to your best interest in order to accommodate and find commonality and compatibility with your dad, while your dad is at an age that really things not so much matters to him, whether it goes this way or that way. But to you, it does, and it should. Because you're at the beginning of the road, or at least somewhere close to the middle, but he's at the other end of it. So one would want to know, where is he thinking that you are, and what kind of a risk is he willing to load on you or expect from you, or what kind of a effort you're going to show, and how much sacrifice you're going to show in order to prove your dad that you're a good son, and then expect to have that relationship. And in the meantime, you're going to lose lots of opportunities and tranquilities and the solid foundations that you have built for yourself. These are all the concerns that you have and I have. And I'm not saying I'm I'm not saying anything about your father not loving you and not being there for you, or wanting to be with you, or anything like that, or if I know better than his care about you. No, but I'm just putting this out there for you to ponder. Tim says, think in case of my dad, I could lose control again. It's a wound spot. Should I risk it and give it a chance? I don't know what the risks are. I don't know who he has been, how he has behaved with you. What scars are there, if any? What things you want to solve? Who knows? Maybe if it's something possible for you, maybe you like to book a Skype consultation with me, and we will hash it out together. I'll get a lot more information, and we'll be able to discuss it, explore it together, one-on-one on Skype. I don't know if that's possible for you, but I'm here When it gets a little bit deep discussions and needs careful and detailed attention, it would be best if it's paid that kind of attention to it. Now for that, then we need a little bit more dedicated time and focus on it. And Tim says, my mom says he did not develop. He has no stress in psychology. He has no interest in psychology. I'm not sure if I even can learn something valuable from him. Or if you're going in there to learn something from him, well, you don't need to. Because you're going to be doing all kinds of crazy things to convince yourself that, it was worth it. I'm learning something from him. While there's nothing there to be learned. Maybe there is, maybe there's not. But definitely it's not going to happen with one or two appointments. Should be a lifetime engagement. But I don't know where you are and where he is, so I can't really say something more meaningful, if at all. Tim says there are many hidden and suppressed emotions that for sure I don't know if he is able to match my expectations. Or even worse, well, if you're going in with an expectations, you're going to be disappointed. Because if you expect something that from someone who doesn't really know you, and you don't even know if he is capable of meeting that expectations, but you hope that he will, then you're going to be disappointed. If you ever wanted to meet him, go in there with no expectations. Just someone new that you want to see who is this person. Don't count on the fact that you are his son, therefore there should be something there long ago and all throughout, and it should be apparent and you would be looking for it. But there's nothing there because there was no basis for relationship. There was no time spent. There was no interactions, energy exchange, or none of that you are looking for. You're looking for something that doesn't exist. And that's going to bring you disappointment. If you're going to meet him, go to meet him, have tea, have coffee, and discuss and see who he is, not to expect him to know you. And based on this, why is he behaving or saying this way or that way? And then you're going to say, Dad, you still don't know me. And then lose your grip for what? Because you're expecting him to be your dad. He's your biological dad. But he doesn't know you. How could he? But you expect him to know you because he has the word dad labeled by dad. Therefore, you think it means what? It means nothing. Just means you. It's just like somebody showed up and says, "Hey, listen, I'm your cousin." Oh, how do you react? Oh, really? Oh, like auntie so-and-so, and uncle so. Oh, really? Interesting. Oh, okay. But that's the extent of it. Still, you don't know who this guy is. What is he into? What is he doing? Where is he going? What is his job? Where is he hanging around? Who is he? Huh? So, with all due respect to your dad, I'm saying when you go to see him, if you go to see him, you got to expect to see someone, a human being who you are trying to find out and introduce yourself and find out about him. This is what the agenda is. You're not there to see your dad. You're there to see someone who's biologically your dad, and maybe in the long run, it could become to take over the role of dadhood, or maybe not, just a friend, or maybe not even that. If you have that, then you wouldn't be disappointed. You'll just go as a reconnaissance. Not being rude or impolite or anything. No, just be there. A 31-year-old young man and meeting someone who's like maybe 20, 25-year-old older than him. Okay? And see how it goes. That's all. But if you go there, expect him to be the kind of dad that you expect him to be, right outside, you're going to set yourself up, and that relationship never picks up. Tim says he is 55 now. He also settled down, I assume. I think he wouldn't even understand my way to look at things. I have profound psychological expectations and doubts. Yeah, and you shouldn't take that to him because you're expecting expertise from someone who doesn't have that expertise. He has never been your dad the way you think of him. And you think that you know him. Because you know yourself, you think you know him. You expect him to be similar to you. But not often that happens. You've been thinking of him all your life. He may or may have not thought of you all your life. If he did, he would have shown up more. So he wouldn't know much about you. So you're expecting him to know much about you is setting yourself up for a disappointment. Tim says, yes, Marin, I think Skype session would be perfect and hopeful on this special case. Okay, good. Tim says, I would say we make this Skype session would help me seeing things clear. Want to be a little prepared. Yeah. Says, you're damn right. I suppose I have hidden needs for he apologized and so on, maybe, yeah. That's a healthy way of looking at it, yeah. Well, there are lots of things that we can discuss. So I'll see whenever you put the appointment through, then I'll make sure that it'll work out time-wise for both of us, and then we'll hash it out on Skype and figure out when is a good time. So don't worry about the time that you choose on the Skype appointment on the site. Just choose any time. We'll just change it or fix it according to what's possible for you and me both. On Skype, we just go back and forth text and then we set it up. Matthew says, hello, Mehran. I am Mushfiq from Nepal. Ah, yes, 23 male. Says Matthew says, I feel relieved for 2-3 days and be content with my conclusion. But after some time, my mind goes to figuring out mode. My mind is ruminating all the time about HOCD. It wants clarification. Then that, yeah, that's what HOCD is. It wants assurance and clarification. It's like all your life that you've been living in a certain way and you loved girls and liked girls and you know yourself only in a certain way that you always did. And suddenly none of that matters anymore. Like you just want assurance of what is this? You just say, you think, oh, that because this thought came to my brain and makes me feel the way it does, and I'm reacting to the thought, my body reacts to the thought, and these thoughts are ruminating, then that means this is what I am. And none of that I've lived for like another 20, 23 years, it just doesn't matter. None of that means anything, but this that is just today, suddenly it's going to take over and say, oh, you know what, all those 23 years and it didn't count. It's me. I explained that in one of the videos. It's like you're walking around as a little kid and, you know, your dad's been raising you and you're 15 years old or 16 years old. And then suddenly in a park, some other guy shows up and grabs your hand and says, you know what? I'm your dad now. And all the ice creams that your dad took you, all the homework and all the other things that you got, that's not your dad. I am. Why? Because I say so. Fuck you, you say. That's what you're going to say. You say, fuck you. I'm going to erase all my past, and suddenly because you showed up and trying to bully me and force your idea on that you're my dad, then I should accept that you're my dad. Fuck you. But the brain is so powerful that makes you believe and simply disconnect yourself from everything in the past. That's where you come in. And you say, I am the boss here, not the brain. So fuck off. You diss it, you focus on what you are, what you have always been, what you always want to be and have been and want and are and continue to be, and you disregard all the other shits. No matter how many times it shows up, ruminates a million times, doesn't matter. There's a you, that's the boss. This is the servant. This is a tool, apparatus, the brain. It's very powerful, but you make the judgment. And you have the choice. Doesn't matter what it suggests, you have the choice that I will choose what I've always been, and I will never choose what you're suggesting because you're a piece of shit. You're a brain. You're not me. I am separate from you. You're saying whatever you're saying. I don't know who it is you're saying it for. But I only say on my own behalf, not you. I have the choice. I have the power. Without me, you, the brain, doesn't matter what you conjure up, it can never be actuality because I am the only one that can turn anything about me that shows up in my head into reality, into an act, into an actuality. No one else, even you, as powerful as you are, the brain, you cannot turn anything into actuality. I am the boss, the me. So fuck off. Just like the guy who grabs my hand and says, I'm your dad, not your dad. You're supposed to say, what the fuck? So be aware of the power of the brain and don't fall for it. Simply focus on your life and say, yeah, okay, I know you're here. I know this kind of garbage you make up, but go ahead, make these thoughts. These thoughts can be present because anybody can manufacture anything in this world, any product, and you can manufacture your products. Thoughts, brain, go ahead. But I don't give a shit about it. I focus on my life, on what I like it to be. And Hasagna says, great channel, man. Thank you very much. Let me know who you are as far as gender, age, and where you're tuning in from. Cultural background, it helps me with when I know where you're tuning in from. Age and gender will help me out. Guys, we've got 6 more minutes before 11 o'clock. So if you've got any question, which I hope not, because we hit it all, and I should be able to say goodnight. And Tim says, thank you, Mehran. And nonetheless, I would love to Skype session. It would root me very much. Tim says, yes, okay. And Tim says, great. He's away in the waiting line. This time, I decide when or when not. Okay. And Brian says, so what is the me that makes these decisions if not the brain? Good question. That would be for next time, because if you don't want to wait till next time, you go on my channel and watch any video that talks about thoughts, consciousness, the relationship between the two, fear, desire, ego, or go to my playlist called Intrusive, OCD, HOCD, short videos. And I caution you, they're not short, but some of them are. So, and then you can watch the discussions that is in there. Specifically, there is one that is called Who's Talking to God, I believe. Let me just give you 4 videos before I say goodnight. And these 4 videos would be able to help you out. There is one. And there is the second one coming. That's the third one, I guess. Or was it the second one? It's the second one. And I've got the third one for you. If you watch these 4, you probably will, one or all of them will hit what I want you to notice. And that's the third one. And the last one is coming to be here. So you have enough ammunition to enjoy and read or watch. I'm sorry, watch. All right. Okay. I think I did what I needed to do. And Matthew says, Mehran, should porn be boycotted? No, porn has its own place. Just don't overdo it. Like anything else. I mean, even water, as healthy as it is, you have too much of it, you're going to throw up. And it's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be healthy. So, in moderation. But the lesser, the better. Let's put it this way. Male 44 USA. All right. Okay, guys. Looks like that Brian O says male 44 USA. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I got it. I was confused. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, guys. It's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here and sharing thing, allowing me to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to talk to you again, whether surprisingly just live stream right now, spare the moment, or if not, see you on Saturday at 1 p.m. Vancouver time, and again, hopefully Saturday night at 9 p.m. Vancouver time, depending on which part of the world we want to focus on. That's why we have two different two different live streams, two different times on Saturday. So I look forward to see you then and talk to you then. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.